Live from Huntertown, Indiana, it's Soarin Hawk on the air. Hey, quiet back there. Come on, quiet. Let's keep it down. Okay, so here we are today. Oops. And I have my friend Ross here. And Ross works for... Oops, got it. Oh, sorry.
You know, it's taking a lot of money to do all this. Here's another.
Oh, hey, look at that. Okay, another $20. Okay, so that's $40 that we received. Fantastic. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Well, okay. Oh, we like to see that money come in. The birds really love it.
Yep.
Good. Thank you. Nice meeting you.
You're doing a great effort, Joe.
Okay, good. How about that? That just works out just fine.
Okay.
So here we are today. We're going to build some owl boxes. And here to keep me out of trouble is Ross Eagleson from Evergreen Construction. And he's one of our volunteers. And he does a lot of the construction stuff with us. And I hope you can hear me muffling here. So what we're going to do is we're going to build some nice owl boxes. And we have a couple examples here that we use for our birds in the pens. But we're going to build one to go out on a tree someplace for a displaced family. So what we do, it's very simple construction. A wood butcher like me can do it, but Ross is smart. He wants to be stable, my fingers, so he's going to help me build one of these things. So we start off with a simple 1x10 board. You get that down there at Menards or at Home Depot or at Lowe's. And first thing we got to do is have to measure the parts, right?
Right.
And we have some nice plans that's going to be available at the end of the program for you. And it's real simple construction. So what are we going to do first, Ross?
Well, according to the drawing, there's what they call a cut sheet for an individual board that's 8 feet long. So we just start at the beginning, whatever it says. Looks like the back is about 22 inches. So we give us ourselves a mark of 22 inches. Then we have two pieces at our sides.
Yep.
And they're 16 inches each.
16 each, right?
There are two. And then we have the front, which is another 16.
Yep.
And that leaves us the bottom
Got 12.
and the roof.
Okay, and that's 7 3/4.
So we have enough on this board for the bottom. And we're going to have to get the top out of another board that's outside. It's pretty important that you make all these square. So it's better if you have a miter saw to use better than a circular saw, or a radial arm saw works very well. If they're not square, you wind up with kind of a trapezoidal box, which I don't think the birds mind at all.
Okay, so we're already cut that puppy?
I think so.
Okay, so while Ross and I go out there and make a lot of sawdust and noise and get some parts, we have Mary here, Mary Kohler, and she's going to talk to you about some of the birds that might inhabit this box. Okay, so let's go, Ross.
Hi everybody. With me today I've got Frankie. Frankie is an eastern screech owl. He is a gray-faced screech owl. And interestingly enough, Frankie came to us in 2018 because an energy company contracted with a tree service to cut down some trees that were encroaching on some power lines. And when the tree came down, Frankie came down with it. He was inside in his little cavity just minding his own business, and he fell 25 feet to the ground. So what happened is his left wing is injured, and our veterinarian could not repair it. So that made him non-releasable. So he became our education bird in 2018. Now what I wanted to show you guys here on the table, screech owls, when they're up in the tree, you can see from this, you see how well they blend in with the bark of the tree? So they'll get themselves real tall and skinny and shut their eyes, and you'd never even know that they were there. Now, with this bark,
Gotta get the drill. Sorry, grab the drill.
With the bark, you can see with the red phase how, sorry, this is the gray. Here's the red phase, which is another color that the screech owls come in. They are not as common as the gray phase, but again, you can see how well that blends in with the bark of the tree. Now, I also have their little foot. So that's all the bigger their little feet are. And these items come from birds that did not make it. So we have an assortment of wings and feet and feathers that we take around to the, especially the school kids love it because they can actually touch the wings, they can feel them. You can also see on these owl wings, you can see the serrated edges where it allows the air to pass through so that they have the silent flight.
Live television.
These birds only weigh a few ounces too. They weigh just a little, anywhere from like 3 to 5 ounces. So we've got a question already.
Somebody asked what kind of owl is he?
He is an eastern screech owl, and he is a gray phase or a gray morph. So that's what he is. Now, again, they are cavity nesters, so Frankie was in the tree got cut down. So if you are taking down trees on your property, it's always a good idea to kind of look to see if you have any big holes that an owl or perhaps a woodpecker even could be inside of there. You might want to investigate before you bring the tree down. So they will also come to a nest box. So we've had people that want to attract them to their yard. You can put up a nest box high in the tree and you might get lucky and get a family to come in. They're all over. You've got them in downtown Fort Wayne, you've got them out in the suburbs. So they will go where their food is at. They like to have, later on in the summer, you'll get more insects and stuff that they will eat. Mice, and of course, you know, people, because of trash, or even if you feed birds, you've got bird seed on the ground, you're going to attract mice. So you might have a good chance of attracting screech owls to the property. Unfortunately, 70% of juveniles and 30% of adults they die during the course of the year. A lot of that is due to bigger predators like a raccoon, weasels, but another owl will eat a screech owl. So a bigger owl, like a barred owl, would eat the little screech owl. And that's generally why they won't be in an area where a great horn is at. Great horns are going to be in a less populated area. They don't like to be around a lot of people. So the screech owls, they look at that big great horned owl, they don't want to be around it. So that's a little bit about the screech owls. Any other questions, Gigi?
I might be for you or for Bob. Somebody said people have been asking this person where she can buy owl nest boxes.
Owl nest boxes, you can get them online. The Wild Birds Unlimited has those, but usually they're a special order. Or but the best thing is if you have somebody who's a little handy with tools and stuff, is to build one. Particularly if you have some kids, they like to do this kind of a little project, and they're so simple to build. It's not hard. If you get the 1x10 down there at Lowe's, Lowe's will cut that for you. I think they cost 50 cents a cut or something like that. So all the pieces will be pre-cut. And we put ours together with screws, but you can put yours together with nails. You know, so it's real simple construction. Anybody can do it. So, okay. So anyways, we got finished here. So we got all the parts. Oh yeah. So hope we didn't make too much noise. And now we did. Let's see, get some of the sawdust off. You got, oh, look at this. Yeah.
Yeah, well, when you're sewing.
Okay, so we got a floor with some holes in it so that we can so it'll drain out a little bit. Let's see, that's a roof, okay, and we already have it pre-drilled, so we have a hole for for the screws. When we're out there, we put the hole here in the front. And if you don't have a hole saw, you can just use a saber saw or something like that. And it doesn't have to be perfectly round. It can be kind of a little oblong or something like that. But it has to be about 7 inches above the floor. And then what we did also was we did a thing called kerfing. So we put little saw cuts in the front. Here, this goes on the inside, all right? And that allows the baby birds to climb up here, okay? So they have two, like she showed you got 2 toes forward, 2 toes backwards, and they can climb right up like woodpeckers. Then we got a couple sides, and of course the important thing, the back. So what we're going to do is we're going to start assembling this thing. So just avert your eyes for a few minutes while we get some stuff all set up here, and we're going to start assembling, right? Oh, maybe we'll come back to Mary for a moment.
Okay, we've got another cavity nester. This is Homer, being very vocal, as he usually is. And Homer came to us in 2011 from Churubusco. Yeah, and he's got an injured wing, his left wing. And again, he would nest in a cavity. I did a rescue a few years ago where a kestrel family was actually in an outdoor pipe. It was almost like a piece of ductwork that went outside of the building and then it went inside of the building. So the mother kestrel went inside that duct pipe from the outside and had her babies. And unfortunately, when the babies hatched out, they came out the duct pipe into the building itself, and a couple of them didn't make it because they fell down from the ceiling. So we were able to save the other ones, but they're a very common bird. They're also called a sparrowhawk. Now, Homer, we know, is a male because of the slate blue wings. And his tail, Gigi, if you want to hand me that tail. This is the tail of the male kestrel. It's got the one black stripe. The females are striped all the way up the tail. Then the female's wing is the drab brown color. So they are one of the few birds of prey, or the only bird of prey that I know of, that have sexual dimorphism, where you can tell the sex just by looking at the color of the bird. They're the smallest member of the falcon family, and that is, you know, it's a falcon because of the stripes that go down along the side of the face. These, actually all birds can see in the ultraviolet spectrum. So Homer would be up on a telephone wire, just sitting there looking in the ditch, and he is looking for a urine trail. Mice, voles, anything like that, they constantly urinate as they're running along. So he's up there on that wire following the golden trail. He gets to the one end and there's no mouse. He gets to the other end and there's a mouse. So guess what? He's going to jump down on it, and because they're a drop predator, and he'll get that mouse. But you see his little feet, they're not quite strong enough to suffocate the prey. So he's got a special adaptation in his beak where he's got a special notch that he reaches in and he snaps the spine of that prey item, and it kills it immediately. We have any questions, Gigi?
No.
No questions about Homer? So they will also, you can attract them to the nest boxes, but they will, you know, do any kind of, I've been on rescues where they've been in the eaves of buildings, overhangs that have rotted out and created a little hole. They'll be in there. And unfortunately, sometimes the hole is big enough to have the babies and the eggs and stuff, but once they start getting bigger, a lot of times, unfortunately, the babies will come out and there might not be a tree branch or anything close to it that it can get on, and they all unfortunately fall to their death. But another thing, if you watch as I move, Homer's a good example. If I move my hand, you see how his head is perfectly still. And that is so as he's bouncing up and down on the telephone wire, he's keeping that head fixed right on his prey. So that's a pretty neat feature. This beautiful bird. So again, we can help these guys out, give them nesting boxes. And I think Bob's ready to come back in. I think they've got.
Okay, we're getting there. We
Oh,
start.
we got a question first, Bob.
Oh, okay.
Somebody asked if they are able to visit here and hold one of the birds and feed them.
No, no. We're a rehabilitation facility, and basically you have to be a permittee to handle the birds. These are all wild birds. They all belong to the state, and we're not open to the public. But we do make public appearances. So we do go to schools, churches, other social groups. We'll be visiting some of the state parks this summer and going around so you can see the birds up close. But unfortunately, no, you can't hold the birds or play with birds or feed the birds, okay? But if you want to volunteer, go to our website and you can see how you can volunteer, and you can join us and enjoy the fruits of a lot of labor. Okay, so Ross, we got the things started now. So already we have
We start with the back. We measure up from the bottom 3 inches, which happens to make the length of the side. It's 3 inches above and 3 inches below the side. We permanently attach that side to the back. You probably can't see, but there's a little bit of glue residue in there. We use a good exterior heavy-duty glue. Just holds the nest box together much longer. Once that is completed, we take the bottom, place it next to the side, and the other edge on the bottom. But right here you can see that the floor is actually up about 1/8 of an inch from the side.
that's so the rainwater will drop off and won't crawl underneath.
Yeah, water can
here.
actually flow uphill if you have that situation. Whereas if you move it up there just that far, that's enough to keep the floor dry. So we would use some adhesive. And we try not to get too much all over the table. You may have noted that I drew a line on clear across the board, and that's the reason why. So I've got something to guess that 1/8 of an inch gap with. I'm gonna stabilize this, Bob.
Okay.
If you can just hold the back side of that board for me right there.
Sure. Okay. I'll come around that side so you can see my best side. There we go. Now we use screws for doing the assembly because screws hold much better. Nails tend to pull out after a while, especially since these things are going to be outside. They're going to get hot and cold, expansion and contraction. So,
I'm gonna get a couple more in here. It's already attached down at this edge. All I gotta do is one right in here.
and it pulls it right in, snug.
And you let the glue do the rest of the work.
Okay. And
We have,
okay, right side, wrong side up.
There.
Okay, there we go. I handed it to you wrong.
just like that,
Just like that. Okay.
these are little vent holes in the top of each side. Again, that allows a little bit of air movement.
this is why I'm having Ross do it, because I'm not sure what I'm doing here. Except I look good holding stuff. Oh, wait. Huh. Give a little smile. Okay. Just let that set a little bit. Just move it just a little bit, just squish it in, get it lined up with the line. There we go.
Now this will take several more screws, which we can apply a little bit later outside.
Oh, look at
And what do you know?
that. Voila.
It looks like it's going to fit.
Okay.
We can apply a little bit more glue, or we can go outside and get a completed box.
Okay. So we'll go out and we'll finish it. How are we doing for time? We're doing good? Okay. Yeah,
Yeah, we are.
really good.
It's 1:36.
1:36. Okay. Yeah, after.
Oh,
So, okay. So while he's doing that, through the magic of video, look at that. There's one already finished, okay? So, you can see here where we put the screws in, okay? Button it up tight, putting it up. Oh, we know what we didn't do? The cleats. We didn't put the cleats on the front of that.
Cleats on the front, where?
The cleat on the back for holding the roof.
Oh.
But
Well, I made the assumption in my particular case where this box is, well, that box is gonna go. At my house, I have a very large flat spot on a tree. So that's what these two holes are for, and there's two holes at the bottom as well.
okay.
I'm going to drive 4-inch screws through those holes, but I'm not gonna screw them completely tight. I'm gonna give it room for the tree to grow and to move and flex with the wind.
The other thing you use is you use bungee cords, okay, or actually the tie downs that you have on, for trailers, okay. Use those big heavy tie downs and wrap those around the tree, and that'll hold them on. So what I do is I make a cleat to go across the bottom to support the weight, okay, and then I use the bungee cord to hold it against the tree. And you can use one, or you can use two if you want to, but I find one of those big tarp tie downs, they work really, really well. Okay, so anyway, so we got our box built, and you don't have to put anything in. Don't put any sawdust or anything in there. If you want, you could put in about 2 inches of gravel in the bottom. That'll help with the drainage and keep the babies from sitting in water. Okay, so just in case, you never know how weather's going to be. When you put them up the tree, you're going to want to put them on the east side. That would probably be preferable, because that way they get the morning sunshine, warms it up a little bit, but you don't get that hot afternoon sun. So east side works well, north side, but the prevailing winds all come in from the west, so you don't want to put it on the west side, and plus you get that hot afternoon sun. So you can leave your box like this, or the other thing is for the owls, okay, if you're going to put up something for the owls, I stain them gray or brownish color, something like that, so it's a little darker, so it blends in with the trees and it's not as obvious. For the kestrels, you can just leave it as plain wood, or you can paint them to match the decor, if you will. So if you fasten this to the side of your barn, what the heck? Too bad. Here, I'll give that to Mary. She can answer that guy. The bill collector. Don't worry about it. So anyway, best place is these boxes go about 15 feet up in a tree or on the side of a barn, or we've had some of these placed up on top of grain elevators because that's one of the places where the kestrels like to hang out. So there's a lot of places you can put them. we have some boxes right there next to O'Sullivan's downtown. We have one of these boxes that sits out there, and it's been painted a kind of a darkish color, so it matches the brickwork on the side of the building. So you can do a lot of different things with them. And the big thing is, once the birds are in, just leave them alone. Don't bother them too much. They tolerate humans pretty well, but, you know, I don't think you want somebody in there pestering your baby. They don't like anybody in there pestering their baby. So, got some more comments?
Just one. During the off season, when you know there are no baby birds in the box, you might want to take a look and make sure there aren't any invaders. You can take out one screw out of the top. The top comes off. And you can look down in there and see if maybe a mouse has gotten inside the box and made a nest.
Or a squirrel.
Or a squirrel. That's actually a perfect squirrel hole size.
Yeah. Now the
Cute
other
as a button with their little head sticking out there.
now okay. The other thing is that when you before you put the lid on, one of the things I do at my bird houses, I take and put a thin layer of Vaseline petroleum jelly on the roof. Okay, that makes a very, very smooth surface that wasps can't attach their nest to. So you know, like the mud wasp or the paper wasp.
Thank you, Bob.
Okay.
I learned my lesson today.
Good. I like it when a plan comes together.
Yeah.
So anyways, and nobody was injured in this production so far. Yeah, so far. So anyway, so just a thin layer, and that works with bluebird houses, owl boxes, any kind of boxes like that. Your little wren boxes even. You know, keep those wasps from building in there. So.
And that would be a good time to clean it out too when you're
Yeah.
looking in there.
Yep. So yep. So we've got a question.
What would you do if, say, some starlings decided to nest in your owl box?
Well, there's a couple things you can do. You can destroy their nest. Okay, just go in there and just reach in there and just take it out. If you really want to make sure that the starlings don't come back, they're not a protected species. So what I've done in the past is I take a mason jar, put it over the door, hang on the box. The starling goes into the mason jar, okay, and then you put a lid on it. Then what you do with it is up to you, okay? They're not good eating for people, but peregrines just love them, okay? So, you know, so that's one of the things you do. And that also works with others, like house sparrows in your bluebird box. Just take that jar, just put it over there at night, bang on it, they pop in, and they have a little, I don't know, a little something to eat, okay?
Would you
More
then
questions?
block the hole?
What?
Would you
take
then
the
block-
mason jar, just put it right over the hole.
But once they're out, what would you do? Block?
No, there's nothing you can really do. You know, so they're still, you know, because they're cavity nesters also. So they'll, you know, but that's the way. The owls and the kestrels will not bring in nesting material. So as soon as you see nesting material go in there, you know you have somebody, you know. Yeah, like he says, the other thing we'll get squirrels. Sometimes you'll get the chipmunks and some other critters that go in there. But be very careful when you go in there. Sometimes you get flying squirrels. Flying squirrels love these boxes, okay? And flying squirrels are just too cute to get rid of. So, you know.
They're also very protected.
And they're very protected, yeah. Yeah, they have little sharp teeth in the front, so you want to be careful about reaching in there. What I use at home is I have a dental mirror, and I just stick it in there, or an inspection mirror, I guess they would call that. You know, you stick it in there, a little flashlight, you know, peek in the hole, you know, that way there's no surprises of putting your hand in there and finding out that there's something very sharp on the other end. So it's, you know, so safety consciousness. So, but anyways, so boxes, I think later on this season, we're going to demonstrate how to put a box in a tree. Okay, so, and fortunately for that, we have a former paratrooper, Louis, and Louis will get up there on the ladder and show you how to attach a box into a tree. But we use these boxes quite often when we get a family of birds like kestrels or screech owls because the tree has been damaged or something. We'll go up there and we'll take one of these boxes, tie it into the tree, and then resettle everybody. And they're pretty receptive of that, you know. So getting a new home. So we just put the babies, you know, any cavity will do in a storm, you know. So up they go, and Mom and Dad will take care of them. So if there's no more questions, Mary has a commercial, okay, for some of our people. This is for our volunteers. Go ahead, Mary.
So we've got several books that the volunteers can purchase. They're $10 each. Birds of Prey of the Midwest, Bird Watcher's Answer Book, How Birds Work. This looks to be pretty fascinating. We just got this one in. Raptors, and this owl book. And the owl book glows in the dark. So the kids would probably like that. But each book is $10. So
For our volunteers.
For our volunteers. So check with your leads, and they can get these books for you and take your money.
Yeah, yeah. We could use all the money you can save or send us, you know. So how we do with time?
Mary has another announcement.
That's right.
Yeah.
A shout out.
Yeah,
A shout
Yes.
we wanted to go outside, but right here, Stuckey's on Tyler. We want to do a big shout out to Julie and Mark Stuckey.
So I have a glare.
Oh,
Sorry.
they donated some beautiful flower baskets that we're going to show you to put on our property. Ross is going to put those up here in a little bit. So we wanted to give them a shout out and a big thank you. We'll come outside and take a look.
I just got a call from Julie at Stuckey's that my custom containers are planted and ready to be picked up.
Great. They are a wonderful small business, and please support them if you can. These are the beautiful blue angels, so we're going to have 5 of them that are going to be all along this porch. So if you want quality plants, that's the place to go.
So we're ready to wrap it up. So that's another session of Soarin' Hawk Online. Oh, what's going on?
We want to remind about next week.
Oh, next week, yeah. Next week we're going to talk about baby birds, and we have a special treat. We have a great horned owl baby that is coming out to be a member of our flying ambassadors. And excuse me while I watch a bird fly there. Okay, and we're going to have the results of the naming contest to see what this new baby is called. So I'm going to see you next week, and so hope you're going to be with us, and hope everybody's there. They didn't cheer. Well,
Yay!
what happened there? There it is. Where are you folks?
We'll just give you a yay!
Yay! Uh-oh.
I can't look at the rocket launch, trophy wives of the astronauts, and I won't listen to their words, 'cause I like birds.
Well, bye.
Bye, everybody.
I'll probably hear from Facebook on that.